Let's fight. Welcome in the ring, guys. Let's fight. Good to have each and every one of you with us this evening. We are fired up, guys, and we are ready to go. Let's fight. Folks, we got to fight. Nothing is going to be given to us. We got to take what is ours. Nothing is going to be given to us, guys. And I love to repeat myself for emphasis. We got to fight, people. We got to fight. Good to see each and every one of you joining us. Some folks are already on the chat. Good to see you there. I see 008PH. Whoever 008PH is. Good to see you there in the suburbs on YouTube watching us. Good to see Donald David and Joe Robertson and Don Raymond. Yvonne joining us in the Bel Air of social media, Twitter. Good to see you there, Yvonne. Great to see you, Roxanne Aaron. In the ghetto or in Baker, Elizabeth Williams, Clear, Alexis Chumalady. I know I'm pronouncing that surname wrong, but I'm going to get it. Claudette, Harry, and all the other folks joining us there. Guys, I am ready. So much information, so many information to share with you guys tonight. We want the joy stealers here. We want the trenches, the jagabats, the Nakovakabites, the Hippitites, the Hittites, the Hippocytes. We don't want them tonight. Guys, good to have each and every one of you. Whoever will. Y'all come in the ring. Y'all come in the ring. Guys, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. You know, as we are warming up, as we're in the pre-show, guys, somebody wrote a letter about me in the newspapers today. And the man was saying, you know, Duncan doesn't speak for the majority of Guyanese. You think so? All he has to do, he got to go through all this thing about writing to the media. One long epistle the man wrote. One long epistle. Just come in the ring. That's all you got to do. Let's fight. Come in the ring. Bring all your ideas and all of these things about the PP doing well. Bring it in the ring and let's put it to the test. Let's contend with ideas, people. Let's contend. One long epistle the man put in the papers. I could say if he had the trouble, said, Duncan, message me. My number is always pinned to the top of my Facebook page. Me frighten nobody. Come in the ring and let me fight. Said, Duncan, send the link. Tomorrow night is Thursday. If you're watching, sir, you might write to Chronicle. You write to Guyana Times. You write to Kaichor. I think the only people must impose the letter is Starbuck News. The only folks probably post the letter is Starbuck News. The man write to everybody, just said, Duncan, send the link. And I can send the link for you. Don't go through all of these travails of writing and emailing and all that. Come in the ring, let's fight. All right. Anybody, you want to come in the ring, you think you have views to share, hit me up. This is what it's all about. Whether you're here in Guyana, you're in the diaspora, whether that's the Caribbean or further afield, and you think you have ideas to share, hit me up. I want to fight with some of you. I want to fight with some of you guys. I want to fight with some of you. All right. Right now, I say my colleagues got a very important meeting happening, and they're having this meeting mindless me. I got to fight them. Because they should have either have this meeting earlier or have this meeting later. I got to fight them too. Good to have all of you guys here with us this evening. So many of you, hundreds of you already joining the stream. Guys, we encourage you to share the live stream. For now, that is the price of admissions. For now, you better take it while it's cheap. Because this price might go up like the vegetables in the market. It might go up like the cost of living. Things tight, people. Things tight. Things are very, very tight. And I'm going to show you how tight things tight just now. So good to have each and every one of you. I see hundreds of you already on, guys. Hit those emojis. Let me know how you're feeling this evening. You're happy, you're sad, you're bewildered. Somebody do you, the obio, the jumbio, whatever it is, guys. Good to see you, Shelley Derrida and Laura Williams, Brenda Braffett, Rosetta Hoyt, Yasmin Henry, Iris. Good to see you. That's the name of my grandmother. Iris. Good to see you there. Audrey Ward and Janice. Iris is joining us from the suburbs. She's on YouTube. Audrey Ward and Raul Brando Ramatar. Good to see you there, Raul. I know this is a fake profile, you know. I know Raul is a fake profile. I know that. I feel them a spirit, you see. When you spirit clean, you pick up things. Siobhan McDonald, Alexis Thompson. We calling the register people. Roy Garraway, Dexter Haley, And Darwin Newton, Audrey Stevens, Lily McGarrell. My God, hundreds of you guys joining us this evening. And we are tremendously privileged. Guys, we got to get through these hot topics. We got to get through these hot topics this evening. Good to see you, Sean Winter and Ricky Ramsarup, Member of Parliament. Good to see you there, Ricky, my brother. Good to see you. Good to see you, Ricky. Let's keep up the fight, Ricky. And Tamil, Moses. Temekon Moses. Fancy name. Good night. Am I calling it right? Tamikom. Yep. Temecom Moses. Fancy name. Fancy name. Veronica King and Wise Up and Run Lil Alfred and Vincent. You see, I was a old teacher. I could call some of these names, but some of them, my parents didn't treat you nice at all. Dexter Williams. Denise Mitchell, good to see every one of you guys. Welcome in the ring, wherever you guys are joining us from. Nicole Brandis Higgins. Nicole, you see, I want to get into the hot topics, but some of these people, if you don't call it in the vectors, you're not, they ain't coming back. And I seeing one of them on the comment saying that Raul is a Trenchy. I know Raul graduated from Trenchy. Raul is a hippocyte. That is who Raul is, a hippocyte. Chevon Fraser, Heaven Faith, and Althea Thom, and all of you guys, Anika Fraser, all the rest of you guys. Good to see all of you. And we are getting into our hot topics. Are you guys set? Well, if you are set, is not your problem. I said, that's important. That's the important thing. Good to see all of you guys. Good to see all of you guys. And folks, you know, every day, every day, the goddamn country is purgatory. Every day a turn. Purgatory. Today wasn't no different. Today wasn't no different. We told you a couple of days ago what's the plight of the planes. In the space of 2 days, 2 aircrafts had some problems on the runway. We told you about that. One of the place was Camarang, and there was another place in the Northwest, where you had 2 planes on 2 different days having difficulties on the runway. In one case, the news media told us that the propeller of one plane disintegrated. Purgatory. Dark forces at work, people. Till now, we cannot know decisively what transpired on the runways there. And we knew that, and we know since then, that Edgel stepped in, without following the procedures laid out by law. He stepped in and he ground the whole airlines. And we know that the Aircraft Owners Association spoke out very strongly about that. The way in which, the very high-handed way in which the Fisher Bishop stepped in there. The airlines were very, very perturbed. And the Aircraft Owners Association stepped in and said, Edgel fast. Basically, that's what they said, Edgel fast. Today was purgatory. Today was purgatory. More purgatory. A Lorrimer aircraft, according to the media, had a runway incursion. They had some problems on the runway. Well, you know what? Jerry Govaya, who owns Lorrimer Airways, he and Edgel, them is friends. So I want to know if Edgel going to treat them the same way. Going to treat Lorrimer Airways the same way by stating that they have to shut down operations immediately, pending investigation. I wonder if Jerry going to get the same treatment. Huh? Maybe this is Jerry's chicken coming home to roost. Well, as the media said, there was a runway incursion. We don't say blackout here. We say we have an accumulation of darkness. We don't see the aircraft crash. Runway incursion. People got to do the Guyanese way. We don't got blackouts and load shedding. We have an accumulation of darkness, people. Right? We don't thief light. We don't thief light. We divert electricity. So there was a runway incursion, folks. There was a runway incursion involving the Lorrimer Airways, one of their planes. And as we get more information, we are going to certainly have that information for you. Signs of the times. As if that wasn't enough, the runway incursions. Signs of the times. Y'all see my good? signs, signs of the times, people. Sadly, a 1-year-old lost his life by drowning today. A 1-year-old lost his life by drowning. And the information that we have at hand suggests that this occurred at Onderneming Sandpit along the Essequibo coast, and where this 1-year-old boy was pulled from a fishing pond. 1-year-old. And again, we're still getting information, but at the hour we have a 32-year-old woman, Elizabeth Henry, was washing clothes in her yard, but left the young child with a sibling in the house playing. Around 9:30 hours, she decided to go check on them and realized that the now deceased child was missing. She began to search outside, where she found him floating in the fish pond, which is situated about 300 feet from the home. Very, very sad indeed, folks. Our thoughts and prayers go with this young man's family, this mother, and the other relatives and their community there at Onderneming on the Essequibo coast. Cannot be a good time for the family at all. And we encourage parents to be a little more vigilant when the little ones are around. Be a little more vigilant there. And folks, things tight. We told you, things tight, things tight. You see, the people want to run ahead of us. Things tight. And we're going to show you. We have to show you, because some people don't believe when we say things tight. And so we have an illustration how things are tight. Folks, today at Skeldon Borbies, oh my Lord. Folks, you think you got it bad. You think you have it bad. Sometimes we think we got it bad until we see the other man's plight. Until we see the other man's plight, folks. So again, let me make sure we have this set up right. Again, somewhere in Skeldon, let me make sure I have this set up right. Man was feeling the pangs, folks. The pangs of hunger. Right? The pangs of hunger. And what else do you do? Some people don't start out as thieves, you know, but the situations. You remember Butcher sing that song, Circumstances May Be What I Am? Is it Butcher? Hope I get it right. So this was the action in Skeldon. Folks, it's a Chinese food man thief in. It's a chicken fried rice. Folks, I gotta show y'all that again. It might have gone by too fast. Some people might have missed it. It's a Chinese food man stealing. There you have it, folks. I told you guys, if you stand up one place too long in this country, they're gone with you. I told you guys that. You stand up one place too long in the country, they're gone with you. It's a Chinese food man stealing there. I'm telling you, all things tight. And some of y'all think we're joking. Things are tight. Not everybody got it the same way. Not everybody got it the same way at all, people. Things tight. All right? And people doing all kinds of things. It's the forces, I told you, it's pocatories, the crosses. It's the Nakavakamites and the Hippocytes. It's the things acting up. Things are tight. Things tight. Man holds woman's breast and chop laborer. are telling you all things are getting grave in this country. Things are getting grave. So let me give you what we have at this on this issue here. Things are tight, people, and people are getting besides themselves. So the man held the woman's breast, and then he chopped a laborer. And here is why. A 26-year-old man is now in custody for squeezing a woman's breast and chopping a laborer who intervened after he sexually assaulted the woman. According to the reports on the Ghana police force, the incident occurred on Monday around 1700 hours rather, at Karakara Mackenzie Linden. I thought it might have been at Amelia's Ward, because I know a lot of things happened there at Amelia's Ward. Right? So that was the situation there. I don't know what transpired, what motivated him. He couldn't keep his hands to himself. So from Chinese food thief in Skeldon, to this one who trying to feel up the woman, right? Who trying to feel up the woman? I hope he get what he deserves. I hope they feel you up in the prison. I hope they give you a taste of his own medicine, and they feel you up well and good at Camp Street, or wherever they got you. Hope they feel you up good. Folks, as you come on this evening, this is our share break. And we encourage you guys to share the live stream wherever you're joining us from. Some of you have been neglecting this aspect, and so we've had to do a pictorial to like. We want to see those emojis, folks. We want to see those shares. Those of you who are joining us on Twitter, we want to see you retweeting. We want to see some of your comments as well, those folks on Twitter. And also the folks who are joining us from YouTube, we want to see you subscribe to our channel there on YouTube. We want to see some of your comments there as well. And folks, you know, on Facebook, you can share that link also via WhatsApp to folks, to friends, to family, and also the link via YouTube as well. Okay, Alexis Thompson and Paula Pollard and Orwin Don Cook, Denise Booker, Siobhan Fraser, Heaven Faith, Nicole Brandis, and all the other guys. We invite you to share the live stream. Audrey Amsterdam and Pamela Douglas and Freddie Jackson, all the other folks. Y'all don't be like this man in Linden, you know. You all have some behavior. Share the live stream and have some behavior. They're going to fly here like this fly trying to feel me up. I know what happened. Like they said, this fly. That being said, folks, as you guys share that live stream, all of you there watching us across social media, as you guys share the live stream, we want to turn our attention to some international news. That is not so much international news. You know, it is not every time I turn my attention to the First Lady. It's not every time. But I think it's one other time on this program I've spoken about the First Lady. Had a very extravagant tea party there at State House. And we were giving our thoughts on those undertakings there. All right, so it's not every time we turn our attention to the First Lady, but this evening we turn our attention to the First Lady. This evening, because the First Lady is taking a bite out of the Big Apple. The First Lady is in New York, folks. The First Lady is in New York. So while things tight at this end, the First Lady is in New York. And that's, you know, all is well and good. You know, the First Lady taking perhaps some time off. But it's where the First Lady was in New York that kind of piqued our interest. It's where she was in New York that piqued our interest. And the First Lady, according to her Instagram account, the First Lady, Aria Ali, was at a place called Van Cliff and Arpels. Van Cliff and Arpels. Now, when you see the First Lady step out, you know the First Lady don't go by no side corner Chinese. When you see the First Lady, you understand that this is not no down-to-earth, humble First Lady. Right? This First Lady shine. This First Lady shine. So she was at this place called Van Cliff and Arpels. And she was having a feast there at Van Cliff and Arpels. And we started wondering, you know, what is this place? Based on the the caliber of this first lady. And we've learned that Van Cleef and Arpels is a French luxury jewelry, watch, and perfume company. My Lord, taxpayers' money looking nice. So why are we fighting here for 4,000 for a uniform grant and a 15,000 for education school grant and a little 25,000 for COVID cash grant, right? The first lady being a mother and all of that, her grant stretching far. So she's at this Van Cleef and Arpels, this French luxury jewelry, watch, and perfume company. Oh my. And a little history of this establishment. It was founded in 1896 by Alfred Van Cleef and his father-in-law, Solomon Arpels, in Paris. Yeah. Their pieces often feature flowers and animals and fairies, and have been worn by style icons like Grace Kelly, Farah Pahlavi, Eva Peron. As you know, this was a famous first lady, I think, in Peru. Elizabeth Taylor, the Duchess of Windsor, and Queen Nasli of Egypt. So not just everybody go at Arpels, Van Cleef and Arpels in New York City and shop and have chair. You got the money, people. You know, like the aisle only flowing for some people. Like the aisle only flowing for some people. Today was our 21st discovery by ExxonMobil. But like the aisle only flowing for some people. So there was the first lady shopping at Van Cleef and Arpels, this French luxury jewelry, watch, and perfume company. Right? And while the first lady is entitled as far as her money can get her, and I guess the taxpayers' money too. Oh, we had poor Mabel last night. Poor Mabel last night, struggling. Poor Mabel in the struggle last night. Mabel says she 19,000 for one child. She got to save it till December. Save it till December to buy she tablet for she child. And then the next 19,000, Mabel says she got to spend on she ration. Mabel says she got to spend on she ration. The next 19,000. So Mabel, you won't see New York anytime soon. Once you got to save till December. But you could maybe get 2 pictures from the first lady. Yep. So folks, we wish the first lady the best there in New York City, and great shopping at Van Cleef and Arpels. How you know, like true Guyanese, I want a little chocolate. I want a little chocolate. If you get anything left back, I want a little chocolate. Or maybe I don't know, I might be entitled to a whiff of the perfume you might buy, or the watch, or the jewelry from the French luxury store Van Cleef and Arpels. Good shopping there. Good shopping there. Sorry, Mabel. Next time, girl. Next time. We turn our attention to sports. And guys, you know, once we're talking about sports in Guyana, oh my Lord, it's confusion powder. Confusion powder. Every aspect of governance under the PPP is rife with confusion powder. And the letter writer who wrote about me in several newspapers just this morning, he was right about one thing. I do not like the PPP. It's too much confusion powder with them. It's too much. So the government wrote to the West Indies Cricket Board. The West Indies Cricket Board. Right? Or Cricket West Indies, let me put it correctly. Cricket West Indies, about these matches they have coming up. Right? And included that the Guyana Cricket Board was also consulted about this upcoming Pakistan tour of the West Indies. I think some of the games are supposed to be played here. But the Guyana Cricket Board, people weren't having it. The Guyana Cricket Board wrote to Cricket West Indies saying very, very strongly, we were not consulted with regards to this agreement between the Cricket West Indies, the government of Guyana, and what was purported to be an agreement also between the Guyana Cricket Board. They said we were never consulted about this. That's what they said. We were never consulted about this. They go on to say, secondly, the Guyana Cricket Board strenuously objects to the Cricket West Indies deliberately bypassing the GCB, the Guyana Cricket Board, and seeking to enter into an agreement with the government of Guyana in relation to matters which are statutorily within the legal, lawful ambit of the GCB, the Guyana Cricket Board. They went on to say the GCB wishes to point out that any and all agreements in relation to cricket in Guyana must statutorily and lawfully be with the Guyana Cricket Board and no other entity. When this government can get it right? When are they going to get it right? And we're going to continue following this story and let you guys know how things evolve. As you know, we were also following these crosses. You all remember Karl Singh that shot the woman in her abdomen? Gladys Emmanuel, the young indigenous woman from Region 9? Oh, yes. Well, we've informed you that Karl Singh was sent on administrative leave. His case file was sent to the DPP for legal opinion. And if there's anything to go by, when certain people, it would seem, go before the DPP for legal opinion, it takes months. So he is probably going to be on administrative leave with paying all his perks on taxpayers' money. On taxpayers' money. Like folks in the Big Apple. Right? While he waits this legal opinion. But we saw another character also jumped into the story just today. Another character. And this character is one Kevon Lorrimer. Right? And Lorrimer, Mr. Lorrimer, is the head for a political entity, what he calls a political entity, Indigenous Congress for Alliance. And Lorrimer is trying to persuade, based on what he said, Emmanuel's family, Gladys Emmanuel's family, not to take this matter to the police or even perhaps to the court. He said, let me settle it. He said, let us settle it. That's what he said. But folks, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to listen in Lorrimer's own words. Because as we tell you, we only got the credible and valid information for you guys. So I want you guys to listen in his own words. Let me make sure we have it queued up nicely for you guys. You take a listen. And then you know what? We should have Gladys Emmanuel herself joining us. And you're going to want to stick around for that. So here is what Mr. Lorrimer said.
He's going to work on the case once it bear merit. Once he have the relevant information to take actions, he will. Right? So that is why probably you want to have a better discussion with her. And that's why I'm asking if you guys ever spoke to the RU, because we don't want to wait until it's long drawn out and delay, and then statutory time pass and then nothing can be done. So I believe if there's a way that we all can have a discussion to have this resolved, that would be good as well. But I don't know. It's just a suggestion I'm suggesting here. For both parties come to a common agreement, excluding the police, excluding any political interference or anything at all, just as a people together. If you guys would want to have a discussion with him as well, and probably we can work on that direction as well too, which can be less cost for both parties. So I don't know what you think about it. If he's willing to sit and have a talk with you guys and try to find a way to resolve this on both family level. Would you guys willing to have this discussion with him? I'm going to find a way to get on to Mrs. Singh, and we can arrange a meeting where I'm going to come in there, and before we take any further actions, let me hear from Mr. Singh what is it exactly that he's going to do in terms to ensure that Gladys' health is being taken care of, and also some form of compensation, and continuously as well, providing that something should go wrong with her directly. So if you guys permit me, I can try and reach out to Mrs. Singh, and then I can get back to you on it. So you could tell me what you want to do. Probably you're gonna talk to the parents first, and then get back to me. He's gonna work on the case once it bear merit, once he have
Folks,
the
and
relevant
that
information.
again was Mr. Kevon Lorrimer of the entity, political entity Indigenous Congress for Alliance. Very, very interesting there. Very, very interesting. And let me see if we get through to the woman who's at the center of all of this. The woman who's at the center of all of this, Miss Gladys Emmanuel. Let me see. Guys, please hold for me. We're trying to get put through the call. In the meantime, we encourage you guys to share the live stream. We invite you guys to share the live stream. We want to see those emojis and so forth. Uncle Dennis, a very good evening. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good night.
A very good evening. Am I speaking with Gladys Emmanuel?
No, you're speaking to her mom.
Okay, I'm calling for her.
Gladys is sleeping, you know.
Huh?
She's sleeping.
I have you live on here. All right. We don't want to disturb her. She's been through a lot all already. Is there anything that you can tell us, ma'am, about her well-being since she has been released from hospital?
So right now she's going to experiment with pain and so on. I won't not only able to tell you.
Okay, so she's in pain. And how is the family coping
Yeah.
in all of this? Because we've seen in the public domain that this whole issue is escalating. How is the family coping with all of this? I know it must be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, trying our best to comfort her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, ma'am. Well, definitely, we wish you guys the very best, and we're going to continue to pray for your family.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, ma'am. Have a great evening.
You too.
Guys, and we thoroughly regret there that we couldn't have Gladys herself, and we know that they've been holding for a little while since we spoke with them early on for us to get this interview done. But we understand under the circumstances, this is a woman who has been shot. This is a woman who has had, been in the public view for a couple of days now, if not weeks. Us looking at this issue, and we want to give them the space that they need. And if she's resting, we are going to abide with that. But again, folks, if you can lift your family in prayers, we encourage you to do so. This cannot be an easy time for a 25-year-old and a family. Basically, you're going up against an entire administration in the PPP that we have. And so I'm grateful that we heard from her mother there, and we have been following what has been happening. Some of the information that we have received at our end, let me just recount some of it for you. Is that Mr. Karl Singh Mr. Karl Singh, let me grab the information for you. Just give me 1 minute. Mr. Karl Singh was at this establishment where Gladys and her sister were. And Gladys was, from all intents and purposes, very protective of her sister. Very, very protective of her sister. And saw some overtures being made by Mr. Karl Singh there, and stepped in to protect her sister. They would have lost their ride to get home, and he would have offered them a ride. He had called her to the vehicle based on reports that are in the public domain. He had called her into the vehicle to discuss getting them and the sister home. The sister was outside of the vehicle, and he said to her, based on news reports that we have seen, that he could get any woman, right? He could get any woman. She said that she shrugged off his advances, and he reached into the glove compartment, pulled out a gun, probably to show off or what have you, to intimidate her. And then the gun was pointed at her, and the gun fired off. And that is in the news media, right? Again, my regrets that we couldn't have Gladys herself this evening. We know that she was holding for a while to do that interview, but again, we understand under the circumstances, this is a young woman that was shot in her stomach. Initially, we learned that Mr. Karl Singh, the REO of Region 9, told her parents that she had stabbed herself, according to the reports that we have. And also, later on, we found out that he said to them that it was an accident. And we are following this information, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to keep you updated as we have more information. But the more we know about this story, the Gladys Emmanuel shooting, it's the more intriguing it becomes. So many unanswered questions. So many unanswered questions. Persons are wondering, how come this gun wasn't holstered? How come the safety wasn't on? And all of that. How come Karl Singh hasn't been charged as yet? But as we intimated to you, they have said that this matter has gone before the DPP for what you call it, legal opinion, for a legal opinion. The matter has gone before the DPP for a legal opinion, And so again, we're going to keep you guys posted on this matter, and the more information we get, we are going to have more information for you guys. Turning our attention to COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen. Turning our attention to COVID-19. To COVID-19. And you know this government in care. This government in care. All right? They're in care. That's what I can tell y'all. They're in care. Turning your attention to COVID-19. Just today. This is what we saw. Just today, folks. Do I have that? 1 second. Just today. Let me turn. All right. I seem to have it back now. Yep. Turn back your attention to COVID-19. There's all kinds of things happening here. All kinds of things happening here. It's purgatory. Right? It's purgatory. What government can say one thing and do 100 things? This was the scene in New Amsterdam today. Let me bring that big for you. This was the scene in New Amsterdam today. Sorry, on the COVID front. This was the scene in New Amsterdam as they were sharing out the COVID cash grant. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an administration that cannot give permission for 10 protesters to assemble. But you could have hundreds of people flocking for the COVID cash grant. And I don't blame the people. You know why I don't blame the people? Because things tight in this country. I showed y'all in Skeldon, the man thieving the Chinese food. Last week, we were right in Barbies again with the duck thief and the foul pen. Things are tight. And so parents got to go out for the money. But the government, in turn, has a duty to provide proper systems. They don't provide proper systems to prevent people from contracting COVID-19. And then when you go to work, the boss is telling you that you must get your 2 doses of vaccines, like Geflan. You must get your 2 doses of vaccines, or you got to go and get tested every week. You have to go and get tested every week. Now, who paying for these tests? Who are paying for these tests? When you have to go and get tested every week, who paying for these tests? And today we had some reporting on the very Giftland issue, where workers are asking, knowing that they are being mandated, that the employer in such circumstances is mandated by law to pay for this, for those tests. Who paying for it? Is Giftland going to pay for those workers do those tests every week? If I'm exercising a constitutional right not to be vaccinated, and you know, on this program, we have said to people, get all the information and then make a proper decision concerning your health. And my personal preference is for persons to be vaccinated. But people want to exercise their rights not to be vaccinated. That is a right as well that got to be respected. Is Giftland and the senior executives there and the ownership at Giftland Group of Companies, as an example, are they going to say to their employers, look, this is our vaccination card, we have been vaccinated? Are they going to stand the expense? Right? And could an employee say, then if I'm vaccinated, I want to be protected on my job site. You have hundreds of people coming through the store every day. I don't know if they are vaccinated, and you are putting me at risk as an employee. So what? The next step we're going to do is to say nobody can come and shop unless you're vaccinated. Well, Mr. BPAT maybe has to get that radical, like he did during the elections. Close down the store till you get credible results. Every 2 days, the government running out of vaccines. How do you cater for those staff, for instance, who waiting on the second dose of Sputnik V but can't get it because there is none? Waiting on the second dose of Moderna, but you can't get it because there is none. I want to get vaccinated, but there is no facility because there are no vaccines. How do you treat with that? You see, we see something on television, like Ramsamy. You hear Emmanuel Macron in France say something, and you want to implement it here, not understanding our own indigenous challenges that we have. You see something on TV and you come and say, oh, you want COVID passports and you want all employees must be vaccinated to the extent that there are vaccines. Because that is a part of the argument that is missing. So to the extent that there are vaccines, our employers, when employees take this vaccine, should anything happen, should their health deteriorate, should they have an adverse reaction or what have you, are they willing to stand the cost of their medical expenses? So it's easy to say, go and take the vaccine. But are they willing to stand the responsibility should something happen? And where are we on these vaccines? We saw some reporting out of CNN this morning that says Pfizer is now reporting that a third dose of their vaccine gives you a good boost against the Alpha and Delta variants. Gives you a good boost, a third dose. A third dose. So if now third dose become the fad, you tell me I can't walk till I get a third dose? The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, the problem is the PPP. That is the problem. It is the PPP crosses. That is the problem that we have, because there is no comprehensive, coherent policy on COVID-19. That is the problem that we have. And so every employer, whether it is Giftland, whether it is the Army, whether it is, some bank, whether it's some other enterprise, got their own COVID policy operating. I know Irfan saying, oh, we still got to study to see whether we want COVID-19 or not. Whether we want the regulation concerning mandatory vaccination or what have you. We got to wait and see and to go around. There is no comprehensive policy. As a matter of fact, this is the fraudulent administration that promised legislation in the National Assembly on COVID-19 rollout and vaccination to date. 11 months in office, and there is no legislation which speaks to COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccination. There is none. You know why? Because they are wasting time. And when I speak like this, you got the jagabats, right? You got the jagabats. You got the crosses. Waiting on the string, watching and waiting to go and write some trash in the papers. Duncan don't like the PPP. That's news. They have done nothing to deserve a second year in office. It's confusion powder every goddamn day. Confusion powder. You name me one thing they have done that you can say deserve any praise. Huh? Even the money that they are giving out for COVID-19 is being given out discriminatorily. Discriminating when they're giving it out. Right? It was Kamal Prasad today, the Vice Chair of Region 7, speaking to this whole issue of this oil discovery, saying, you are feeling it? We don't feel as though this is the 21st major oil find here. You don't feel it? I remember the folks at Rossignol saying that our bag of rice is not a hamper. Now, when you got to fight for a bag of rice, you got time but 21st oil find? That is what Kamal Prasad said. Let me read a paragraph of what she said on Facebook. ExxonMobil find more oil and y'all going on like y'all ain't happy. Guyanese ungrateful boy. She being sarcastic. Some of y'all done getting 25,000 and y'all child getting 19,000. That's a whopping 44,000. Before year end, the government might pitch in another 10,000. Y'all be patient. Meanwhile, ExxonMobil fetching out the oil by the billions. And them Trinidadians getting paid more than Guyanese in their own country. Some companies ain't even want higher Guyanese. And we still waiting on the local content policy that PPP promised. Because remember, they don't know everything. We still waiting on the local content policy since all this discovery. That is according to Kamal Prasad on social media. She said, let me be the first one to say, poor people ain't got shit to get from this oil. Poor people ain't got shit to get from this oil. This oil belongs to foreigners. This oil belongs to the rich. This oil belongs to rich people, friends. Right? And this oil belongs to those who shopping at Van Cleef and Arpels. That is who the oil belongs to. It belongs to Van Cleef and Arpels shoppers. Right? Because I don't know when you and I going in Van Cleef and Arpels and buying luxury perfume and luxury watches. You understand me? And being wined and dined. You're spending so much money that they're bringing out food and give you the rolling on the red carpet. Right? I don't know when you and I go in there. Right? Because, of course, you and I not like Elizabeth Taylor and the Duchess of Windsor. Right? And Queen Nasli of Egypt and Eva Peron and Grace Kelly. We're not of those. Royalty is a Guyanese royalty. Go get the money. And so Kamal was absolutely right. Absolutely right. When she said, again, right? Let me be one of the first to say poor people ain't got shit to get from this oil. This oil belongs to foreigners, the rich, and the friends of the rich. Right? And until we understand that, and until you understand what the PPP up to, why is it the PPP trying to change the Natural Resource Fund from the way it is set up currently, where you have a whole team of people sitting down to discuss how the oil wealth is going to spend? Why is the PPP trying to change it so it's just Irfan Ali, the short one at finance, Ashley Singh, and Barajak Dio going to determine how the oil money going to spend? Huh? And they love democracy and they love transparency. Folks, y'all better wake up. Y'all had better wake up. Right? And we see the uneven hand of justice in this country. Right? And I'm going to bring it back to show some of you. Because we've asked, for instance, why? Why? If you got 5 people, you can't hold a protest. But the government could break its own regulations and have thousands of people turning out at those schools. Why? Because already it's only some people in this country going to get away. And everybody else sucking sauce. So Kamal is damn right. She is damn right. And that is why I asked the question. I know it is a thorn in some of your sides because they're your friends. When we get injustice, right? Some of y'all don't like me because of my style, but I'm not running for Mr. Congeniality. When are we going to get justice? Huh? When are we going to get justice? And that is why I asked the question. And I ask it again tonight. And I'll ask it every night. When are we going to get justice? When Karl Singh going to be charged for shooting this girl in Shabeli? Terachan Balgabin knocked down and killed a young teacher who I'm certain was an asset to his family. When Terachan going to get charged? Huh? Let Duncan jump the traffic light. Let Duncan jump the traffic light. You're going to see charges in my ass. Zamal Hussein. Terachan is the project director at finance. Zamal Hussein. When Zamal Hussein gonna get charged? He is the vice chair of Region 3. He knocked down and killed a man. He filed at the DPP awaiting what? Awaiting a legal opinion. 4 months now. Alicia Dalrymple. When Dalrymple gonna get charged? Dalrymple bite a policeman. Right? You know who's a police in a society? A symbol of authority of the state. Law and order. The symbol of law and order of the state. When that rebel gonna get charged? Right? When that rebel is going to get charged? But let Duncan jump a traffic light. Right? Let I hit the ants crossing the road. And you will see charges in my ass. And that is the society that we're building. Different strokes for different folks. So the boys feel that this 15 or 20 man panel shouldn't manage the oil wealth. And these are independent people, right? People who don't have too many political leanings. And Jack Dio and Irfan and them want to be the only three, the fantastic three, who want to manage the oil wealth. And what we're seeing with our own eyes, we can't trust. Like them charging Karl Singh for shooting Gladys Emmanuel. Like them charging Terachan Balgabin for killing the young teacher on the road. For them charging Zamal Hussein for killing a pedestrian as well. For them charging Alicia Dalrymple. And there are others. And there are others waiting to be charged. But this is the kind of society that we're living in. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Whoever want to write about me in the papers, write about me. To hell with y'all. Right? Y'all don't race me. Right? Y'all don't race me. Y'all don't carry me to Van Cleef and Arpels. So I can continue to talk the things when they get in charge. Right? Look, nonsense. You talk about unevenness. The private sector commission wrote to the president about sleeping, violating COVID rules. Huh? Me see sleeping go up a cold step yet. And they insisted on a meeting with Irfan. According to Starbucks News, Irfan had a 6-hour meeting, closed door with the private sector. Few things we heard of what came out of it. Sleeping still opening night and day. Like at a birthday party, and like 11 people. You can see the big bus, and then I get at the front page of Starbucks News, front page of Kaichur News, front page of Chronicle, and Times. Right? And even Nigel Williams at Village Voice might give me their front page too. Front page. People can violate COVID-19 protocols wantonly, even the government. But let a small man try and forget a hustle, hold a little dance. Yeah? Is all the police in Linden or Borbis or Ituni or wherever going to swoop down? And they tell me they care about us. Huh? You care about us? Well, I want perfume from Van Cleef and Arpels. I want a nice luxury watch from Van Cleef and Arpels. Or a nice piece of jewelry. Because you care. You know how much? 19,000 for me to the States? And buy from Van Cleef and Arpels? You better wake up. Right? And some of you think, oh, it's all in the struggle. It's all in the struggle. And y'all can't go for 1 hour on coffee. All of these activists and fighters we got. And I'm missing some of y'all on coffee. 1 hour on Wednesdays. Huh? And I said it here. Everybody running me down. Don't come when y'all coming out. When y'all coming out. When y'all coming out. And few have the balls. Few have the testicular fortitude to move beyond the social media campaigning and activism and come on the ground. Every Wednesday, 1 hour. 12 to 1 at coffee. And I ain't seeing some people. Oh, you're in the diaspora? Send $10 a month to help us to keep the struggle going. Send 20 US a month to keep the struggle going. Oh, I can't come because I'm living in Canada. Oh, I can't come. I'm in New Zealand. Oh, I can't come. I'm in the US of A. Right? Well, the first lady in US of A too. Van Cleef and Arpels. Send 10 US a month for us to keep the struggles going, to keep the light on, to keep the router full, so we could do the live. When these bandits get in charge. So you understand why we got to stay out front fighting these jagabats. You understand. And there are others. I told you right in this program and play the recording for you of the set at Bartica, Region 7, RDC. One PvP guy telling the other, saying to his colleagues, he know this one don't pay no tax. Huh? Involving corruption in contracts and all of that. Were they investigated? No. No investigation coming from Gale and all of them. Which investigation coming? Huh? Which investigation coming? Oh, but it's Duncan. Every 2 days, somebody gonna tell you, oh, Duncan went to Chronicle and thief 5 million. Oh, but how come I in the upper court step yet? Some of y'all hear the broad headlines, but y'all ain't doing no deeper thinking than that. Oh, Duncan T, 5 million from Chronicle. Eh? Aria in flipping New York and probably spending 10 million during she stay there. And it's me I worried about. Kamal was right. Kamal was right. You understand me? Poor people ain't got shit to get from oil. Ain't got shit to get. 2 years since we pumping. Since we pumping oil. You feeling it? 21st oil discovery. You feeling it? No. The people who feeling it, then Van Cliff and Arpel shopping. The people who are feeling it in Van Cliff and Arpel shopping and looking nice. Those are the people who are feeling it. They are in Van Cliff and Arpel. Right? And the rest of us, you know what we get in? Oh, a road that as soon as they finish it, it broke up. This is not a road that's built by State House or with the mansion in Region 3 for Air Fund. This is road of the NU community and my community. They just finished built and it broke up. That's what you and I get in. Because that is what we have put up with for too long. Right? You know what you and I get in? In the oil producing republic, this is what we get in NVRs. Complete shutdown of GPL. Take blackout in your skies. This is what we get in. Blackout. Complete shutdown. Right? You ain't getting Van Cliff and Arpels. Right? Van Cliff and Arpels don't get blackout, you know. Take complete blackout in your skin. That's what you all deserve. The oil producing republic. Right? You know what we get in? Rising cost of living. That is what we get in out of this government. And this man fighting me in the papers. He said everything wrong and the Granger administration is Granger. It's not external forces. Right? It's Granger. But everything wrong and the air from them, oh, it's somebody else. It's not them. Somebody else is the problem. Cost of living. Rice gone up. Sugar gone up. Flour gone up. Salt, China dal, black eyed peas, milk, shallot, bora, bhaji, cabbage, squash, bygone, pumpkin, pak choy, cucumber, tomato, beef, chicken, eggs, pork, saltfish, sardine, fish, shrimp, corned beef, cheese, aloo, cassava, edo, plantain, yam, sweet potato, onion, garlic, pine, orange. Rent gone up, gas gone up, diesel gone up, carol gone up, diapers gone up, butter gone up, bus fare, taxi fare, water, tennis roll, bread, toilet paper gone up. And y'all know after I said toilet paper, I say you can't even afford to wipe your ass in this country. Right? You know who I'm feeling the squeeze? People who visiting Arpels. They're not feeling the squeeze. People who are visiting Arpels. Not feeling the squeeze. Van Cliff and Arpels. Not feeling the squeeze. Things have gone up at Van Cliff and Arpels. We ain't got time. We can afford it. That's all we oil pumping. We can afford it. That is how we oil pumping. Folks, we encourage you to share the live stream. Those of you going to be coming back to watch this program a little later on, we encourage you guys to share the live stream as well. And I hope one day y'all can go to Van Cliff and Arpel and shop up big and eat big. As we go, I was made to understand that there is an event coming up at State House when the First Lady gets back. There's an event coming up at State House when the First Lady gets back. Right? And here what is on the menu. Before we go, here what is on the menu. Right? Hear what is on the menu, people. Oh God, your taxpayers' dollars never taste so good. Hear what is on the menu. Right? When the First Lady comes back to this big posh event happening at State. Some of y'all can't go to State House. Y'all and get y'all $50,000 per plate. Hear what is being served at State House. When the Forest Lady come back from Van Cliff and Arpels, right? They're starting the meal with a palate cleanser. Sicilian lemon frost soubré. Sicilian lemon frost soubré. And then for starters, oh God, they're having pesquito, the Parma wrapped, right? In something salad bites. Caressy, is it? Some fancy French words to go with the fancy French perfumes and so on. Salad bites. Alaskan snow crab stuffed with mushroom. This is being served at this event. This is your taxpayers' dollar at work for you. New Zealand green-lipped, mussel served, 5-way. This must be strong, man. Wild-caught Pacific Chinook salmon with dill and asparagus. Spaghetti carbona. This is the entree. Spaghetti carbona. Right? With quail eggs. Folks, I can't afford four legs, much more quail eggs. Dessert is Cheesecake Factory Godiva chocolate cheesecake, strawberry tart, and cream gelato. Folks, this is the menu, right? When First Lady come back from Van Cliff and Arpels, right? This is the French luxury jewelry, watch, and perfume maker in New York City. Happy travels, First Lady. Stay safe, guys. Those of you who are with us, make sure you, take precautions with COVID-19, my brothers and sisters. Take precautions. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you are fully sanitized. Make sure you are socially distant, and so forth. And remember, guys, we crave that you like. I want to see those emojis. Hundreds of you, thousands of you are still watching this program. We want to see those emojis. We want to see those shares. We want to see those retweets. We want this message to get out. We want this word, this information to get out there to the wider world. We want this information to reach Van Cliff and Arpels. And it's only going to do that if you guys put some legs on it and share the live stream. Wherever you're joining us from, hit that share button. Share to the groups you're in. Share back to your page. Share back to your profiles. Share the live stream, folks. Thanks for joining us this evening. And wherever you are, do stay safe. Do stay safe, guys. Thanks for joining. Stay safe. Y'all ain't gone yet? Well, I ain't moving. Guys, share the live stream. When y'all sleeping, y'all must hear Duncan saying, share the live stream, share the live stream, share the live stream. Good to have so many of you on. Share the live stream, guys. Share, share, share. Share the live stream, wherever you're joining us from. It's been our privilege to have you here. Share the live stream. Stay safe.